Alright guys, back to the Pajero today. It's time to upgrade the wheels and tyres. The Tamiya ones, actually this one's a Carson, but near enough the same. They were fine tyres back when there wasn't any alternative, but these days there's more scale wheels and tyres available than ever. We ended up with a set of RC 4-wheel drive Mickey Thompson Baja MTZ, or Z I guess, 1.55s. Nearly the same outside diameter as the Tamiya ones, so should fit the arches without much fuss. They come with a nice set of stickers, nice touch, but what we really want to have a look at are the tyres. They have a scale tread pattern, the rubber is really soft, and they come with foam inserts, which you really need to use or the tyres will just fold up under the weight of the truck. For the wheels, well, there's loads of 1.55s to choose from, but a lot of them aren't great if you're on a bit of a budget and need to offset the cost of the tyres a bit. One of the few that are vaguely affordable are the stamped steel 1.55 beadlocks, also available from RC 4-wheel drive. The other thing about these is they don't have a silly offset, so they should keep the tyres well under the wheel arches. We won't know for sure though until they're mounted up. The wheels are really quite neat. They are 4 main parts held together with the 6 screws. Mounting the tyres can be a bit of a fiddle, so here's a bit of a guide. First, remove all the screws and nuts. Keep them somewhere safe, as if they make it onto the carpet they'll be gone forever. Separate the 2 steel parts of the wheel and remove the ring. A note for later, the 2 steel parts need to be carefully aligned. Even if the screw holes line up, the spokes can be offset, so watch what you're doing. Grab a tyre and pop in the ring. Make sure the tyre bead is nice and even with the ring up inside the tyre. Pop the rear part of the wheel in through the tyre. Don't worry if the aluminium boss falls out. Pop the front of the wheel in and line up the screw holes and the spokes. This next bit is a bit tricky. You need to insert one of the screws through the back. Squeeze the wheel so the screw is all the way through to the front. Then while still squeezing, fit a nut. Then do up the screw a turn or two. Just enough so it won't fall out. Then pop a screw in through the opposite hole and add a nut and do it up just a bit like the first. That's the tricky bit out of the way, the rest is just repetitive. You need to insert the other 4 screws and nuts, doing them up a bit as before. You now need to tighten them in a good old cross pattern so the wheel halves come together nice and parallel. Tighten a screw a turn, then the one opposite, then the one right of opposite of that. I'm sure you know the drill. Keep going until all the screws are done up nice and tight. Check around the tyre to be sure the tyre is properly seated all the way around. Now, you might get away without doing this, but I think these tyres will stay mounted permanently. So I'm going to Loctite the nuts. Loosen one of the nuts and undo it until it's just at the end of the thread. Get a tiny drop of Loctite on the end of a cocktail stick and smear it onto the exposed thread. Then retighten the nut. This isn't an ideal way of maintaining even tension on the wheel, but I reckon it will be good enough. With all 4 complete, it's time to fit them on the chassis. Simple enough, needs no explanation. Next we need to check the tyre clearances. First we need the truck powered, so connect up the battery. Tip the truck over and hold one of the suspension arms at full compression. Apply a bit of throttle to get the wheel spinning and steer lock to lock. With this setup, the tyre just contacts the front bumper. Outside, with things putting force on the arms, forward and back, there will be contact. So we want a good 3 or 4 millimeters of clearance. The easiest way to do this is first mark the bit of the body that needs to go with a pencil or pen, trying to do it so the lines flow into the shape of the body. You'll also need to check the rear. In this case it only needs a shave at the front of the arch. Then it's just a case of attacking it with a Dremel or other rotary tool with a sanding drum at a fairly low speed. If you're at all worried, take off a little at a time and then do a trial fit. When it's all good to go, paint a couple of coats of silver paint on the exposed plastic. Tamiya XF16 is pretty close to the XB body. So there we have it. I ended up trimming the rear of the rear arch just a little to keep things even. Very subtle. Unless you had a stock body next to it to compare, you wouldn't even notice. The trimming to the front is only on the lower lip of the bumper, so again you'll never see it. Of course, if you fit bigger tyres, you will need to do more trimming. The tyres make a huge difference on our simulated off-road obstacle, aka cardboard box. No longer do the wheels spin until one of the lugs catches the corner. The tyre now just grips and up it goes. You can really see the tyre wrapping itself around. It should be so much nicer to drive. Might even be able to grip the dirt when all the ground has dried out. As for climbing angle, this was about the limit of the stock tyres. It's a pretty slick surface. But you can see the new tyres go up like it's not even there. Lovely. More angle? No problem. Not even a hint of wheel spin. Straight up. Right, let's get a bit silly. More than 45 degrees, I reckon. The rear bumper touches the ground, it's so steep. Bit of wheel spin now, but still up it goes. Impressive stuff. Can't wait to see what it can do outside in the real world. I think this setup has proved itself worthy, so I'm going to stick one of the stickers on the bumper. Classy, no? That looks good to me. The 1.55s look a bit better than the 1.9s. The tyres fill out the arches, as close to perfect as I think it'll get. Now, as an added bonus, I also got a set of number plates printed. Nothing too special, but will be another step along the way. These ones came with some double-sided sticky stuff pre-applied, so they just stick on. Might be slightly too big, as I think the Tamiya bits are for American-sized plates. Still, I can just call it a grey import. So, there we go. That's it for now. I hope to get out and give it a run soon, so another trail vid will be along to show the progress of the performance. Fun stuff. As always, thanks for watching. A thumbs up is always appreciated. Don't forget, if you want to be reminded when we upload a new video, hit that subscribe button. Thanks guys.